What is up, car addicts? In this video, we'll be talking about this week's Double Money Event Week, as well as the property and vehicle discounts. So in terms of changes for this week, the Brioso 300 has returned to the Southern San Andreas website. So for those of you who remember, it was available for free during the festive event week in December, and then it was taken off the website for some reason, but now it's officially back at its normal price. The Brioso 300 has tons of customization, and is a very quirky little compact car, but obviously it's very slow as you can imagine, but it's still a very cool vehicle nonetheless. But anyways, this event week is for March 4th through March 10th, 2021. The current casino podium vehicle is the Bravado Verlier. This vehicle's overall design is primarily based on the TVR Sagaris, with the back end of the Wiseman GT-MF. It released about 5 years ago with the Executives and Other Criminals update and normally costs about $700,000. This car is in the sports car class and has pretty average customization, being such an older normal car. The driving experience of this car is pretty interesting. It has an exhaust note similar to the regular Coquette with a slightly different tone with some cracks and pops during deceleration. It's a very cool vehicle for sure. Definitely one of my top 10 favorite cars in terms of exhaust note. Now in terms of handling, it handles very strangely as it takes corners well at lower speeds. However, it has tons of understeer at higher speeds, almost like a completely different car. It's a very strange vehicle for sure. In terms of speed, it's pretty decent and sort of what you expect from an older 2015 vehicle. Obviously, nowhere near the Pariah or the top sports cars at all, but it's still speedy enough for some fun. But anyways, for those of you who originally paid full price for the Verlier and are not happy about it being on the podium, you can still take the one you originally purchased and sell it for roughly $570,000, depending on your upgrades and how much you paid for it originally. So your profit really isn't that much for this one, only about $200,000 after you upgrade the podium one, but at least it's something. Remember, this is not a $1 million podium car, it's a $700,000 podium car. So is the Verlier worth attempting to win by spinning a lucky wheel over and over this week? Honestly, I know this isn't a $1 million car, as I stated earlier, but I still think it has a unique design and driving experience with almost a $700,000 price tag, which at the end of the day, it's still a pretty decent chunk of money. So I'm going to say yes, it's definitely worth attempting to win from the lucky wheel this week. If you like the exterior styling, I know the exterior styling is a little controversial. Some people say it's the ugliest thing I've ever seen. Some people say it's beautiful. It just all personal preference as to what you like. So starting off with the property discounts, we have 60% off the hangars, which is awesome. The hangar is needed to buy and customize most of the newer aircrafts in the game. And of course, the smugglers run business. So if you don't own one, I highly suggest buying one this week. Next up, we have 50% off the yachts, which is pretty awesome. The yachts, in my opinion, are pretty useless in GTA. It's more of a gimmick if I'm being honest, but they are pretty cool to look at, I guess. Moving on to the vehicle discounts, we have 40% off the Zeroso. So this car is in the supercar class and has pretty good customization. It has decent handling and speed as well. It's very competitive against some of the older supercar kings from like 2017, but nothing close to the newer ones like the Emirates and the Krieger. But again, other than that, it's a nice driving experience with good customization as well. Next up, we have 40% off the Devest 8. This car is in the supercar class and is very competitive against the Emirates and the Krieger on some tracks, and in some cases, even faster on some of the tracks due with slightly higher top speed. The Devest 8 may have very weird styling, but performance-wise, it's one I highly recommend purchasing if you're looking for another competitive car for supercar races. Moving on to the Warstock website, we have 40% off the Avenger, as well as the weapon and vehicle workshop upgrades for it as well, which is awesome. So the Avenger is a great aircraft with tons of armor and of course the optional vehicle workshop. It's pretty much the MOC of the skies. Keep in mind that you need to own a facility in order to buy it. Next up, we have 40% off the Akula. So this is the helicopter that has the stealth function, allowing you to go off the radar and sneak up on players. Keep in mind that you need to own a hangar in order to buy it. Moving along, we have 40% off the Laser, the OG military base jet everyone is familiar with. Honestly, even at this price, I don't feel it's worth it, as you can just steal it from the military base whenever you want. The only benefit I see to owning it is the ability to repaint it if you take it into your hangar and then make it a personal aircraft, meaning you can call it in from pretty much anywhere on the map, but then again, still a hefty price you gotta pay for that. Next up, we have 40% off the Hunter, one of my personal favorites because of the barrage missiles. It's just an awesome helicopter in general, in my opinion. Again, keep in mind you need to own a hangar in order to buy this one as well. And lastly, we have 40% off the Savage. So this is the helicopter that has the explosive cannons similar to the laser, which definitely makes it useful in some situations, but there are better helicopters out there in my opinion. And that's it for vehicle discounts. Lots of weaponized helicopter discounts for this week, which is interesting, but only 2 normal car discounts. I feel like a couple more car discounts would have balanced it out a bit better, but overall it's not too bad. In terms of free items, you can get the Panic Prolapse basketball top and matching shorts as well for free by completing a Gallo Perico heist finale this week. Obviously, I haven't had a chance to do that this week yet since the event week just started, but yeah, I guess some free things are always nice to see. In terms of double money, we have double money NRP on all air and sea races, which is quite random. It's only those specific races. No one really ever does those, but I guess. Next up, we have double money NRP on the stockpile adversary modes, which is awesome. Moving along, we have double money NRP on the yacht missions as well, which really don't pay well at all. Even with double money, it's really sad how much the yacht missions pay. But anyways, next up, we have double money NRP on the hidden caches and treasure chests that you can normally search from the Gallo Perico Island. And lastly, we have double money NRP on the Smuggler's Run crates. These crates really aren't that profitable compared to the CEO crates or just doing the Gallo Perico heist normally solo, but they do pay pretty decent enough if you want to take a break from the normal Gallo Perico grind. Moving on to the Prime Gaming discounts for Prime Gaming members only. I'll leave instructions in the pinned comment on how to become a Prime Gaming member if you aren't one already. So we have 30% off the Vatir that released recently. This truck is a Pegasus vehicle and has no customization. Therefore, I don't really recommend it, even at this price. Next up, we have 80% off the Barrage. Personally, I find the Barrage pretty useless. The weapons and the customization are pretty cool, but it's awfully slow, and it is terrible, I mean terrible, at off-roading. It drives really bad over the bumps. Personally, if you're looking for some type of off-roader with a turret on top, I prefer the Insurgent Pickup Custom. Next up, we have 80% off the Brigade. Keep in mind that this is a Pegasus vehicle with no customization, and this giant vehicle has no armor at all, so it's a very easy target for players to kill you. And lastly, for Prime Gaming, you will continue to get the Sonar Station upgrade for the Kasaka submarine for free. This upgrade normally costs 1.2 million, and getting it for free is pretty awesome. Also, don't forget, guys, that just for logging in this week as a Prime Gaming member, you'll get a free $200,000, which is pretty cool. Again, guys, if you don't see a discount on the Vatir, Barrage, or the Brigade, it's because you don't have your Prime Gaming account linked to your social club. Again, all the information on how to do that is down below in the pinned comment. And lastly, we have, of course, the Arce Bandito Time Trial Power Station. This week's normal time trial is Elysian Island. I highly recommend either the Hakachu Drag, Shotaro, Pariah, Italian GTO, the Vest 8, Emerus, Krieger, or a Batty 801 for that time trial, so definitely lots of variety, mainly just a quick vehicle. And this week's premium race is the Supercar Race Downtown Underground. I highly recommend either the Emerus, Krieger, Wagner, or S80RR for this race. Every Friday I post a guide on how to easily beat the time trials and premium race, so stay tuned for that if you're new. Anyways, guys, hope this was helpful. Overall, this event week is pretty good in terms of double money. I think we got a nice variety just like last week, although I think last week was definitely a lot better overall. And in terms of discounts for this week, overall they're pretty good as well, but again, not really that great compared to last week. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.